Neha ma'am, you can start. Unmute and start.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Anuj, and the entire fraternity of Bharati Vidyapeeth for giving me this opportunity. May I know how many students are there? Okay, 89 students, and all are from MBA.
Yes, ma'am. They all are from MBA first year orientation, and
Okay.
probably it will go around 123 or 130. They are joining.
Okay, great, great. So let me start with just a brief introduction about emotional intelligence. Let me first share the slides. Are the slides visible?
Yes, ma'am. It is visible.
Oh, okay, okay, fine. So let me tell you all that we choose and me and Mr. Anuj, we mutually decided to go with emotional intelligence with the first year orientation of MBA students. And let me tell you, the topic has been chosen very much. I mean, it is intentional that we have chosen this topic. It is really beneficial for you, for all the budding managers. And as we talk about human beings, I think we are moving away from empathy. We are moving away from basic humanity. There is a difference between now being human and human being. We all are human beings. We are all are God's creation. But are we human? Are we really? I mean, are we really understand what is empathy? I don't think so. Anyway, any of the student can come out with the difference between what is empathy and what is sympathy. What is the difference between empathy and sympathy? Mr. Anuj, can I interact with the students? I mean, during the session?
Yes, ma'am. You can interact.
Fine. So students are supposed to put the answers in the chat box, or I mean, they'll be unmuting themselves and speaking out. Because I think the chat box is not activated for me.
Ma'am, chat box will not be activated with you because
Acha. Okay, okay,
Microsoft
okay.
team, they are
Got
raising
it.
hand. You can ask anyone.
Yeah, no, you can unmute yourself one by one and you can come out with the answer. Any one of
Good
you.
morning, ma'am.
Very good morning.
Ma'am, Shifali ji on this side.
Yes, yes, Shefali.
Ma'am, sympathy is telling somebody that we feel bad for you, and empathy is putting ourselves on the place of the one who's in sorrow or in tension.
Okay, great, Shefali. Great. Very well said by
Thank you,
Shefali
ma'am.
that empathy is through, I mean, we are sharing our thoughts and emotions with the other person. We are consoling the other person, and empathy is we are putting ourselves into other person's shoe and under other person's situation and try to understand that. Anyone else would like to try different from what Shefali said? Anyone else would like to add on something more to it? You can unmute yourself and you can come out with your views.
Ma'am, Ashil was this side. Sympathy
Yes,
means
Ashi.
giving some consolence to someone in their bad times, and empathy means coming in the situation and feeling the same situation that they are feeling at that time.
Great, Ashi. Great. I mean, you also, I mean, highlighted the same thing what Shefali said. Very good. Very good. Let me tell you, students, just a very simple definition of the difference between sympathy and empathy. And remember this thing throughout your life. It will help you out. Sympathy is only through words. Sympathy is only through words. Okay. And empathy is through actions. Empathy is through actions. Like Shefali and Ashi, what they said, it is only halfway to empathy. They said that trying to put yourself into other person's shoe, other person's situation, and understanding their emotions and their situation, that is only half part of empathy. Now what exactly you are doing to solve the problem, to solve the I mean emotions the other person is going through, what action you are taking, that is empathy. So the basic difference between sympathy and empathy is sympathy is all about words and empathy is all about taking actions and solving exactly the problem which you are actually feeling, the problem of the other person. How much action you are taking and how much steps you are putting ahead to solve that problem. That is empathy. Very good. So we have chosen this topic, as I said, intentionally, because we people are moving away from empathy. We are moving away from this humanity in general. You can see that 90% of the time and 90% of the people, they are busy on mobile phones. They are busy on screen, I would say, whether laptops, whether tablets, or maybe this mobile phones. So 90% of the time we are busy on our screens. 90% people are busy on screens. We are more comfortable talking on screen. We are more comfortable talking while chatting on WhatsApp or any other media. We are more comfortable sharing emojis. But when it comes to face-to-face conversation, when it comes to face-to-face interaction, we face a lot of challenge. We actually face a lot of challenge because we don't know what to say, how to say, when to say, and to whom to say and whom not to say. It is very difficult to control your facial expressions, your body language when you are interacting with people around. It is not that easy. We are actually facing challenges. We get hesitate, we get nervous to take initiative to talk to people when we are face to face. But we are very comfortable sending hello and hi to strangers on messengers or WhatsApp. So this is the trend going on, and we are moving away from empathy and we are moving away from humanity. It is only the tech savvy, the textual conversation through technology is booming these days. And what about our emotions? And you cannot understand and express your emotions through text, through messages. You can only well understand and communicate with somebody when you are face to face, because face to face you are dealing with people. You are also trying to listen to what has not been said. Okay, through their body language, through their maybe facial expressions, we can easily understand even those things which they are not speaking. We can listen to that thing also.
मैम सॉरी टू डिस्टर्ब यू
Yes,
आपकी
yes,
स्लाइड
yes.
को चेंज नहीं हुई है, पहले वाली चल रही है.
हाँ, let it be. It's just
Okay.
an introductory.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So only because of this we have chosen the topic emotional intelligence, because it is really the need of the hour today. Previously we were talking about IQ, intelligent quotient. You must be knowing very well what is intelligent quotient. It is the basic intellect of a person. But today EQ is more important, EI is more important. You must have gone through researches or maybe the recent trend. It actually says that if you really want to achieve success in your life, in professional life as well as personal life, and even if you want to achieve higher positions in the organization, IQ does not matter much. It is equally important. It is even average IQ, above average IQ is acceptable, but average EQ or below average EI is not acceptable at positions, higher positions in the organization. Because at higher level, you need to deal with people, you need to deal with teams, you need to get work done. You have to exhibit your leadership qualities. Every now and then you have to interact with your team members, you have to motivate them towards the right goal, towards the achievement of the organizational goals. So for that, EQ, EI is important. A person with a good EQ, good EI will be able to handle people so well. Now here I'm there to come out with the emotional intelligence topic, but let me tell you, it is not like math, science, physics, or any other subject that I can teach you. Okay, it is all about emotions, and I cannot teach you how to deal with your emotions. I know how to deal with my own emotions, but I don't know how to deal with how the other person is going to deal with his or her emotions, because emotions, they vary from person to person. For me, sadness can be different. For you, sadness can be different. For me, jealousy can be different. For you, jealousy can be different. For you, happiness can be different. For me, happiness can be different. So different emotions, different intensities of emotions we are facing, and different people, different emotions, different sort of emotions. They have their own definition of emotions. and they have their own strategies to deal with their emotion. If I'm sad, I might have a different strategy to deal with my sadness. And that strategy may not be applicable to you because these strategies are not universal. They vary from person to person. You may be sad and you feel, when you take a cup of coffee, you feel better after you are tired and you are sad, or maybe throughout the day. A cup of coffee may revitalize you, or maybe a long walk may revitalize you, or maybe a chat with a friend, or maybe sharing your emotions with one of your best friend may revitalize you, may regain your energy. So it varies from person to person. I cannot teach you emotional intelligence. I can only inspire you. I can only guide you towards the betterment, towards the direction of how you should take control of your emotions. And it is how important it is to deal with the emotions. So I can only guide you. I can share the experiences, and I'll take you to this journey of emotional intelligence, how important it is, and how and on what aspects and on what areas you need to focus on to deal with your emotions. So before moving ahead, I have one question that I would like to ask. In fact, I cannot ask every student out here, but yes, you can ask this question to yourself. How many of you agree that your life would have been better if you have better strategies to regulate your emotions? Emotions can be sadness, emotions can be a panic, anxiety, fear, it can be happiness, or all other sorts of emotion. So if you are able to control your emotions, regulate your emotions, manage your emotions well, then definitely your life would have been better. And I think everybody's answer would be yes to this, and I'm assuming this. Another question is, how many of you agree that your life would have been better if others have better strategies to regulate their own emotions? You are dealing with people every now and then. It's not only about your emotions. The other people are also carrying emotions. You are happy, but your friend is angry. Your friend is sad due to some or the other way. So if they have the better strategies to regulate their own emotions, then also your life would be better. And I hope, again, I'm assuming that everybody agrees to this. So it is basically like we all agree that yes, emotional intelligence is very well required in everyone's life to make your life better and happy. You require emotional intelligence, but not only you also want the other persons, other people around you to have knowledge about how to manage their own emotions. That will also affect your life. So how emotional intelligence is so important. Now, emotional intelligence is basically a term. It is created by Peter Salovey and John Mayer. Or we can say the term is coined by Peter Salovey and John Mayer. And primarily, it is popularized by Daniel Goleman. I mean, wherever you will find the word emotional intelligence, you will find the name Daniel Goleman. He wrote a book in 1996 named Emotional Intelligence, and he was the first person to came out with the professionally, officially, what emotional intelligence is all about and how important it is in everyone's life. So, fine. So let's come out with the definition of the basic definition of emotional intelligence. I took this definition from Oxford Dictionary. And in fact, we have many definitions, but the essence of all the definition is one and the same. So it is all about emotional intelligence, also known as EQ. But yes, there is a difference between EI and EQ. EQ is basically the measure of emotional intelligence. It is a measure of how intelligent emotionally you are. And emotional intelligence is a tool. It's a tool that talks about how you are dealing with your emotions and other person's emotions. And EQ is an instrument to measure that emotional intelligence of a person. So it is basically the ability of individuals to recognize their own emotions. So first of all, the most important thing is you should be able to recognize, identify your own emotions. Okay, or your own emotions means, are you able to clarify, are you able to identify your own emotions? Are you sad? आपका मूड खराब है, ठीक है आज? Are you able to identify whether you are sad? whether you are angry with something, or there is a fear inside you, there is an anxiety, or it may be frustration is there within, jealousy is there. What exactly is your emotion at this point of time? Are you able to identify your emotion? So first important thing is just recognize and identify your emotion, and similarly that of others also. When you interact with people more and more face to face, you'll come to know how people behave. When they are angry, what are their expressions? When they are sad, what are their expressions? When they're jealousy, how are their facial expressions and what they are speaking? So more and more when you interact with people, as I said, we are mostly on screens. So rather than moving away from screens, if we start interacting with people face to face, we'll be able to develop emotional intelligence in a better way. And also we'll be able to discern between the different feelings. We need to identify the different feelings and label them properly, as I said, whether it is sadness, whether it is anxiety, whether it is jealousy, what exactly you are feeling at this point of time, and using all this emotional information to guide your thinking and behavior. Now what happened with the people, those who are poor at emotional intelligence, they actually flow with their emotions. They actually flow with their emotions. They don't use these emotional information, emotional feeling which they have within to guide their thinking and behavior. If I am sad, a person with a good EI will try to, what he or she will try to do, he'll try to identify the reason. First of all, he'll try to identify the feeling, whether it is sadness, whether it is frustration, whether it is worry, anger, or maybe frustration. What exactly is the feeling? First of all, you identify your feeling, and then after identification of your feeling, just try to identify and find out the reason behind that feeling. Why I am feeling sad, why I'm feeling angry, what is the reason behind that? Try to identify, analyze the reason within. And let me tell you, emotional intelligence, nobody is going to help you out. It is all about you, your own self. You know what is the sad emotion for you. You know what is the anger emotion for you. Okay. And you only know the reason that lies within you behind these emotions. Nobody else can identify the reason behind you. It's only you. You have to work on your EI. Nothing can teach you EI. It's only you have to interact with people, and you have to aware about your own self. You have to be alert and aware and attentive about your own emotions, what is going on within. And similarly, afterwards, you can identify and be alert when you are dealing with people, to identify and label their emotions, how they are dealing. So the people with high IQ, high EQ, they actually are able to identify their emotions and find out the reason. And with that reason, they actually guide their own thinking process and their behavior, that yes, next time I should not do this because this leads to sadness in my life. Okay. So they are smart enough to use their emotional thinking, emotional information to the right direction. And the people, those who are low in EI, what they are going to, they actually flow with the emotion. They consider they are sad, and or they get depressed over a period of time. They're not talking to anyone, they're getting isolated. So these people are, they're unable to control their emotions. And let me tell you, students, one thing, that you are different from your emotions. Emotions are only a feeling. Aaj aap sad ho, kal nahi ho. It will come and it will go. It will not stay permanent with you, but you will remain permanent. Your organs, your mind, your heart will remain permanent with you. But emotions are just a feeling. They come and they go. I am not sad. Don't say that you are sad if you're going through a sad emotion. That emotion that lies within me is sadness. It may last for maybe few hours, or maybe few minutes, or maybe a day. And it will go back again. I don't know wo kahan se aaya tha sadness, and it will go back over there. Same is with happiness also. So don't consider that you are sad. You are not sad. It is only one of the emotion within you that has come today, and it will go tomorrow. So these are the qualities of people, those who have high EQ, high EI. So they think that yes, and they use this all emotional information to think better and move in the right direction. So this is the definition of EI. Now, these are the three pillars of success. You must have heard about intelligent quotient, IQ. You must have heard about EI or EQ. I'll be talking about this in the entire presentation. And spiritual quotient. Now, in this session, we'll be talking about EI. It is all about how I feel. It's all about your emotions we'll be talking about. Spiritual quotient is like who I am, what is the purpose of my life, why I'm existing. So that's a separate thing to study. And IQ, you all must be knowing, it's a rational thinking, logical thinking, what I think and how much logical I am, how quick I am responding to the questions. So that is IQ. Now, let me tell you the basic difference between this traditional intelligence or IQ, what we call it as, and emotional intelligence. IQ, it signifies the mental potential and academic potential, academic ability of a person. If you are scoring more than 80-85% marks, definitely you have a good IQ. You are better at logical thinking, rational thinking, and responding to the queries and responding to the questions. So this is like IQ, what we are talking about in the traditional times. But in the last few decades now, we have come out with the EQ, EI. It is basically the ability we have already discussed to understand one's own feeling. It also provides great insight on how emotion influences motivation and behavior. As I said that people with a good EQ, good EI, they actually use this emotional information to influence their actions and their behavior in the right direction. And I told you how they do it. And it also talks about intrapersonal intelligence. There are two types of communication, intrapersonal and interpersonal communication. Intra is within yourself. You must be talking to yourself, okay? You must be dealing, when you are dealing with your emotions or when you are dealing with your feelings, you are interacting, you're talking with your own self. You are responding to your own queries, why I'm sad, how this happened and why this is happening to me only. So all these things when you're talking to yourself, that is intrapersonal intelligence. So do your intrapersonal communication so well with yourself so that you understand yourself first. हम लोग इतना time बर्बाद करते हैं analyzing and judging people around. It's better to analyze and judge yourself. Better to analyze and understand yourself. What are you going through? What are your emotions? What are your goals in your life? Are every emotion in your life or are every direction in your life is leading towards the goal which you want in your life or not? So do this intrapersonal communication so well and try to understand yourself. If your intrapersonal communication is good, automatically your interpersonal communication will be very good, because when you do so well intrapersonal communication, when you interact with yourself, you know that what is good, what is bad, what to speak, what not to speak, how to deal with people. So ultimately your interpersonal communication, your interpersonal intelligence will also improve. So just a basic difference I came out between IQ and EQ. IQ, as I said, it is a logical, analytical, mind games that you play on your screens, on your tablets and laptops, the reasoning ability, abstract thinking, problem solving abilities and all. EQ is all about, the first thing I mentioned is empathy. You try to understand other person, try to understand people around you and just do something. As I said, EQ is all about, empathy is all about the actions, what you are taking to solve the emotions and problems of other people. So it is all about empathy, the thoughtfulness, good interpersonal relationships, but your interpersonal relationship will only be good if you have good intrapersonal communication, good intrapersonal relation. If you have a good relation with your own self, you're kind to yourself, you love yourself, your self-esteem is so high, your confidence is so high, then only your interpersonal relationships will ultimately be good. IQ is, it helps you to get in the door. Get in the door means it will help you to get into the good business schools. It will help you to get into good jobs in the corporate in the future. But you'll only be succeed in that job. You'll only get retained in that job, and you'll be only be able to perform well in the job if you have a good balanced level of EQ. So that's the difference. And again, another difference is IQ is the measure of ability to learn and understand, okay, the logical thinking and all your mental ability. And EQ is the ability to identify and use your emotion for your own benefit, okay, to develop yourself. Not, I mean, emotion should not be that it should lead you to depression and it will lead you to isolate yourself from the community. That is not the emotion. Emotions, you should enjoy your emotion. Even if it is sadness, you should learn from that sadness that where it has come, what is the reason of that sadness, of that anger, of that jealousy, and what I should not do in the near future, so that it will really help me out, so that I won't get sad and angry or jealous in the near future, at least because of this reason. So don't repeat it. So that is the ability to use your own emotions. IQ is trying to convince everyone by facts, because you have read so many books, you have knowledge, you have information, you can easily convince people by facts and information. But EQ, you'll be trying to convince everyone by reasoning, by I'm not saying logical reasoning, but you have that empathy, we have that consoling power, you have that convincing power that people will actually accept what you say. IQ generally deals with the conscious mind. You have two parts, major two parts of your mind, that is conscious and subconscious mind. So conscious mind, when we talk about it, all deals with the IQ, your perception and your logical thinking and all. But when you talk with EQ, direct heart-to-heart conversation, what we talk about. So it is like whatever I'll be saying, it will directly reach to your heart. That is the level of EQ when you are trying to convince people, when you're trying to talk to them. So this is the power of EQ as compared to IQ. IQ people are book smart, and EQ people, as I said, they are heart smart. Direct one-to-one, heart-to-heart conversation. Aapne bola aur maine kar diya. So that is the power of IQ. It is not that I'm looking for facts, I'm looking for information, logic behind that. That is all about IQ, dealing with the conscious mind. IQ, yes, I said it will get you through a good school, good corporates, but EQ will get you through your life. You'll be able to be happy in your life when you have a good EQ, good balance of emotions in your life. You know how to deal at balance with your emotions. And this is the research which has proved that IQ contributes only 10 to 25% to success in your life, maybe professional or personal life. But it is all about EQ, dealing with people, handling people, handling your own emotions, handling other people's emotions around you. That contributes 75% to success in your life. And let me tell you, it is all about EQ that gives you happiness in your life. It is not IQ much, but it is all about EQ. Now, who needs EQ? I think entire mankind needs EQ. Every one of us needs EQ. Now, why is emotional intelligence important? It will help you in increase your performance at the, maybe at the school level, college level, or maybe at the corporate level, because when you are balanced in your emotional approach, when you are balanced with your emotions, you are able to control your emotions so well, you'll be relaxed, your mind will be open to accept things, and your performance will enhance. Your physical health will be better, because you can see when you are anxious, when you are sad, when you are depressed, how your physical body reacts to it. It is very difficult. It goes down. So again, your physical health will be improved if you have a good EI. Your mental health will be very much good, and your relationships, ultimate relationships, are the outcome of a good EI in your life. You'll be able to handle and you'll be able to maintain a good relationship in your personal life as well as in your professional life. So this is the ultimate outcome of EI. And one more thing I would like to tell you, I remember a quote from Mother Teresa. She said once that every human, every person goes hungry to bed at night. Every person goes hungry to bed at night. And what exactly she mean with this is, it's not about food. It's about every human being, the entire mankind goes hungry to bed at night. They are hungry for love. They are hungry for care. They are hungry for empathy, for affection. So that is like, you can see people around, everyone needs love, everyone needs care in their life. Nobody needs exactly money. Money is only required to deal with your basic needs of your life. But over and above, you need love, you need care, you need empathy. So people with good EQ, good EI will be able to maintain good relations with people around. They'll be happy within themselves, and they don't need exactly people. They are not dependent for their emotions to get resolved, for their life to get resolved on anyone else. They're able to better and deal with their life. Now, when we talk about EI, emotional intelligence, these are the four important quadrant. This is a matrix of EI. It talks about four different aspects. The x-axis, it talks about self, your own self and social, the people around you. The y-axis, it talks about regulation, how well you are maintaining, managing your emotions, and recognition. Recognition means identifying. So the first quadrant of self-awareness, the first important thing it talks about, as I said before, you need to identify, you need to recognize your own emotions. First of all, you need to identify your emotions, and then you go to the second quadrant, that is self-management. Then you need to manage your emotions, and that strategy, how to manage your emotions, it only you knows that strategy. Because I told you, different emotions, different people, different emotions, and different strategy. For me, a long walk can be a better strategy to deal with my sadness or anger. For you, it can be a cup of coffee. For you, for any other person, it can be sharing your emotions with one of your best friends. So it varies from person to person. So first of all, self-awareness, you should be able to identify your emotions. Next is, you need to regulate and maintain and manage your emotions by implying various strategies. And then the third quadrant is about social awareness. After you are self-sufficient with yourself, that you know your emotions, you can very well identify your emotions, and you know the strategies to manage and regulate your emotions well. Now you try to understand the other people around you, try to identify their emotions, and try to find out how they are feeling, that empathy part, and how you can help them out. An ultimate outcome of all the three quadrants, I would say, it is a relationship management. At the end, you'll be able to manage your relationships so well in your life. It can be personal or it can be professional. So these are the four different aspects, I would say, of emotional intelligence. And today in this 1 hour of session, I don't think so I would be able to take all the four different aspects, because it will take a long time. I'm only trying to take this two different aspects, that is the areas of your own personal ability. That is your self-management and self-awareness. Once you are able to identify your emotions and regulate them, it is not that difficult now to understand the other person's emotions in your life and finally maintain the good relations. So let's talk about the first thing, that is self-awareness. You should know about yourself. Knowing one's internal state of your mind, your heart, and your preferences in your life, your priorities in your life. What exactly is my priority? Kai baar hota hai, my friends ask me for a movie and I'm going for a movie along with them. Ye soch ke ki I'll also enjoy, but I'm unable to enjoy over there. Why this happens? Because maybe the movie was not my priority at that point of time. I didn't realize it because I don't know about myself. I don't know what I want in my life. किसी ने कहा मूवी देखने चलते हैं, I'm ready for that. Somebody says let's have a coffee, I'm ready with that. Okay, my father says just study, and I'm ready with that. My parents, they said take science as your specialization. Okay, fine, I'll take science as my specialization because my parents told me. So just try to move inside your own self. Inside means you can do this through meditation, or you can do this by sitting alone and just identifying yourself, your own self, what exactly you want in your life, what are your preferences, what are your priorities, what is that one thing in your life that actually kicks you, that actually takes you off from your bed in the morning, even by 4 or 5 in the morning. That one thing that takes you, that make you rise from your bed early morning by 4 or 5? What is that one thing? What is exactly you want in your life? So you should know first of all about your own self. Now just take your time and ask this question to yourself, how you are feeling at this point of time. These are 4 different quadrants. This is a mood meter app. This is also an app. You can download it on your phone. It is a mood meter app by Yale Center of Emotional Intelligence. And what does it say? Let's understand. The x-axis, it talks about feelings. The feelings can be pleasant. The feeling can be unpleasant. Okay. Y-axis, it talks about the energy, and it varies from low to high. Now let's first talk about the quadrant, green quadrant, okay, where the feeling is quite pleasant, very much pleasant, I would say, and the energy is very low. So this is the quadrant where you are very happy, you are calm, you are relaxed, and the energy is quite low. Low means, you know what to do and what to do, what not to do. You are very much relaxed in your life, content. That feeling of content and happiness is there within you, and you are fulfilled. You are like, I have everything in my life. You're feeling blessed. So that is this green quadrant. Then let's come to the blue quadrant, where the feeling is unpleasant and the energy is low. Unpleasant means I'm not at all happy from my life. Why every time this is happening to me? And you are going into the depression state. And here the energy is very low, and you are not talking to people. You are getting yourself isolated. And in this state, the people, those who are in this state, they might commit suicide. They might harm themselves over a period of time. So this is the ultimate state of depression in your life, where you are feeling unpleasant and very low with energy. Let's come to red quadrant, where again the feeling is very unpleasant. You are very sad, you are very depressed in your life, but the energy is very high. Energy is high, it means that you are very furious, you are frustrated, you are angry, and you are harming the other people around you. Here you are not harming. In the red quadrant, you are not harming to yourself, you are harming to other people, because the energy is so high and you want to radiate that energy to some or the other way. So you are radiating it through your anger, through your frustration to other people. The furious sort of people are there in red quadrant. Then we have this yellow quadrant, where the feelings are pleasant and the energy is very high. Now, the feeling is pleasant means you are happy, you are content, but the high energy, it is like you're very enthusiastic in your life. You don't want to sit in a relaxed way in your life. Everywhere you want to jump like a spring here and there. मुझे ये भी करना है, मुझे वो भी करना है life में. You are putting your hands into everything. So that is also not 100% apt, which is required. The best quadrant to remain is the green one, where you are calm and relaxed and you are very happy with low energy. You are doing what you are required to do in your life. You are very clear about the purpose in your life, the goals in your life, and you are accomplishing it, and you are doing the things in a very smooth and a calm way. So that is the green quadrant. Just identify yourself in which emotional zone you are in. Are you in the red zone, green zone, yellow zone, or blue zone at present? Let me tell you, the learning is best when you are in the green zone. The learning is awesome when you are in the green zone, because you are relaxed, your mind is open, and you are able to grasp everything in a wonderful way. But when you are in the red quadrant, you are very anxious, you're furious, you're frustrated. Learning does not take place in this quadrant. When you are in the yellow quadrant, you are so energetic, so full of enthusiasm, and you are putting your hands into everything. So har kaam अच्छे से नहीं हो रहा है, but you are doing it, everything. Okay. And blue quadrant, when the person is highly depressed, let me tell you, it is very difficult to preach that person or teach that person. The learning is zero when you are in the blue quadrant and you're very depressed in your life. And actually, I mean, wherever you lie in any of these quadrants, you should know how to analyze your emotions. So first of all, the important thing is just identify your emotions. Just identify, label your emotions. Are you in the green zone? Are you in the yellow, blue, red? Which zone you are in? Are you sad? Are you angry? Are you frustrated? What is happening to your life? What are your emotions? First identify, and then we'll talk about the regulation. Now let's talk about, as I said, the strategies to improve self-awareness. And let me tell you, different people, different emotions, and different strategy. These strategies are not universal. So first of all, the first important thing is keep log of your feeling. Okay, that mood meter app you can download in your on your mobile phones, and what it will do is it will ask you again and again, multiple times in a day, what changes are you observing in your body, and how's your mood right now, which quadrant you lie at this point of time, or what is the reason, what I'm feeling at this point of time, what I'm thinking exactly when I'm sad, what I'm thinking exactly when I'm angry, kiske bare mein main soch rahi hu, and what exactly is the thing that is making me angry, what is my current mindset, how I'm feeling and what I'm feeling, is it positive or is it negative? Is it positive ki sab theek ho jayega, don't worry, we'll overcome it, no, there's not an issue much, or it is a negative mindset that why it is happening to me and you are feeling depressed. So just keep a log of your feeling throughout the day and do this activity for another 10-15 days, and automatically you will be able to then identify your own emotions, and you'll be able to learn your own self, that how you are behaving, what emotions you are going through every now and then, and how you are going to control these emotions. Because kai baar hota hai, if I'm sad right now, I remember when I was sad, I did this particular thing, and that actually boosted up my energy and my mood. So, okay, fine. So next time again, I'm going to repeat this thing. So try to identify and analyze, go within and talk to yourself, do that intrapersonal communication with you. Listening. Most of the time, we listen only to respond. We don't listen to understand people. When we get a feedback from maybe our colleagues, juniors, or seniors in the organization or in the college, what we do is whenever we receive the negative feedback or criticism, we always try to justify the other person. We are not trying to understand and accept that criticism. We are not ready to accept that criticism most of the time. We only try to respond back with the justification that why this happened and why this has not happened. So just try to listen everyone around you, what they are saying, and try to understand what they are saying, and accept, first of all, accept the constructive criticism and try to improve over it. That will help you in identifying your own self and dealing with yourself. Now use strong emotions as learning opportunity. As I said, strong means extreme emotions, extreme anger, extreme sadness, depression. So these extreme emotions are very helpful, act as a learning tool in your life. Because if you have never experienced these extreme emotions in your life, you will never know how to deal with these emotions of yourself as well as of others also. मुझे खुद कभी sadness नहीं हुई. How will I be able to recognize the sadness of other person? How I'm able to analyze and solve that emotions of other person if I have not gone through that emotion? So it is very important that you go through these sadness emotions, and it happens in everyone's life. It is very common to human mankind. You must have gone through that sadness, that jealousy, that extreme anger in one or the other time in your life. So what you need to do at this point of time, you need not to harm yourself, you need not to harm any other person. Just try to sit down, identify first of all what exactly is the emotion I'm going through and what I should do at this point of time. मुझे ऐसा क्या चाहिए that I'll overcome my sadness. Do I need a cup of coffee, or do I need to interact with my family members, or do I need to interact with my best friends? I need support of them. I need to talk to them. Or better, I do rigorous exercise and radiate my energy of extreme emotions into sweat, or maybe I'll go for a long walk. So there are different strategies that different people, they follow to overcome with these strong emotions. So I would say just identify your emotion, excuse me, identify your emotions and analyze it so well. And then you can find the strategy because everything lies within you. You'll find the strategy within you only. So learn to use your emotions to think. As I said, whatever emotional information you have, use this emotional information to guide your thinking and direction and your behavior. Not think with your emotions. I mean, don't flow with your emotions. Use this emotional information for the right direction and behavior in your life. Mindfulness, I would say, I would recommend meditation for all of you. Meditation is not, you need to just in a professional way, you need not to do in a that way, but just spend some time alone with yourself, where you only think about yourself. Go within your mind, your body. Try to identify what the process is going on within and how you are feeling. When you are feeling what kind of emotions, so just spend some time alone in your life with your own self. We call it as today me time. So just take out this me time for yourself and spend some time with yourself. Now let's see how to manage your emotions. As I said, there are different strategies and it varies from person to person. So it is like, how do you want to feel? Now the self management or managing our emotions in your life will and the result is directly our feeling, our mood, our outcome of the entire day. Just take an example. One of in the morning when I was driving, some person he bumped my car from the back and gave me an angry look. Now, what will happen with a person with a low EQ, or in fact, I would say most of the people? What will happen? They'll actually spend their whole day thinking कि आज का तो दिन ही खराब था सुबह. It is like, why he gave me an angry look, उसकी गलती थी, ऐसा क्यों हुआ मेरे साथ, and all that. So this is what happened to the general mankind. Let's take another example. I wish my teacher good morning and he or she didn't responded back to me. So why? Why मैं पूरा दिन मेरा निकल गया? Why my teacher didn't responded me? Might be मेरा impression खराब हो गया, या might be I have done something wrong. So again the entire day has gone. So event has happened, the external event, and it is resulting into outcome, and the outcome is my bad mood throughout my day. Another example, my boss is there and he was standing when I entered the organization, and he gave me a weird look, he gave me a disgusting look, and there can be different way out to it. What I'll be doing is, first outcome, I'm thinking the entire day with a negative thinking that my boss is not good, he gave me an angry look, ye aise hi hai. I mean, since last 1 year I'm seeing I'm doing so much for the organization, but again there is no worth of mine, nobody is giving me reward and recognition. It is all because of my boss, he's not happy with me. So this is the first outcome. Maybe I spend my entire day thinking this, और मेरा सारा दिन खराब हो गया. Second important outcome which can be, I went to the boss and I said, hello, good morning. What happened? I mean, why you gave me such a, disgusting look? What happened? I mean, is everything okay? Is everything all right? The boss might say, no, fine, everything is okay. I mean, I might be looking at you, but I was thinking something else. It has nothing to do with you. It's okay. So I'm relaxed throughout my day. वो मेरे लिए नहीं था वो expression. It was my, like, might be he was thinking something else, and he has that expression and he was looking at me at that point of time. So I took an action at that point of time, and the outcome was different. Throughout my day, I was okay. I was relaxed. It was not for me. Another outcome, it can be like, I went to the boss and I said what happened and all, and he said, Neha, you took the meeting yesterday, and I think it should have gone in this way. We should correct on these aspects. And what I would say, yes, fine, definitely, I'll do so, and I'll take care of this thing in the next, in the near future, definitely, and we'll correct it out. बात खत्म हो गई, वहीं पे खत्म हो गई, rather than spending my entire day and thinking why my boss is looking at me like this, and actually my day is a mess, because I have a negative feeling throughout my day, and negative thinking about my boss. So this is what happens with most of the people. Event occurs and the outcome is there. But let me tell you, at the example which I gave, the 3 different outcomes when you interacted with your boss, the outcome is not the only function of event. It is a function of your response to. Everything depends on your response, how you are responding to the event, because we cannot control the event. Controlling the event is not in our hand, but response is in our hand. I can directly go to my boss and ask me, take action and respond in a different way, and then my outcome will get changed.
Ma'am, sorry to
Yes.
interrupt you. Yeah, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, we have like another 2-3 minutes because the session.
Okay. No issue. Let me come directly to the basic emotions. Okay, so these are the 4 basic emotions I have identified. It is anger, it is fear, it is happiness, and it is sadness. And these are the major 4 emotions that we generally go through. And let me tell you, fear is the base, is the root for all the emotions that we have in our life. We are angry with high energy because we have a fear of losing something, or maybe we have a fear of getting insulted. That's why we are angry. We are sad because, again, we have the fear of losing something or maybe getting insulted or anything. Happiness is defined again as an absence of fear. So fear is the root cause of all other emotions. So जो कहते हैं कि हम बिल्कुल डरते नहीं है किसी से, मुझे किसी से डर नहीं लगता. Let me tell you, just go inside yourself and identify your emotion. So, and the best way to measure EQ over a period of time, if you're working on your emotions and you want to measure that whether you have attained a good level of EI in your life or not, it is only through your anger. If you are able to control your anger at a given point of time, then definitely you are moving ahead. You are attaining a good score of EI in your life. You'll not be punished for your anger, let me tell you, but you will be punished by your anger. So just try to control your emotions, your anger by your own way. And the only thing is, as I said, just identify your emotion and go within. You'll find the strategies that will lie within you only. So thank you so much. And I think the session was fruitful for the students. I think so.
It was, I guess it was a wonderful session, as I was just going through your last few slides, and initially I was there, then I joined my another lecture. But on behalf of Bharti Vidyapeeth, ma'am, I like to thank you for giving your time to our fresh new batch in their during their orientation. And emotional intelligence, as I was earlier stated, that it is one of the important component as we talk about leaders or global managers. Without being emotionally intelligent, you cannot understand the other side, and during this COVID-19 pandemic, many doctors have to become emotionally intelligent because patients are waiting, families are waiting, some are in trouble, and also so this is a key component. Thank you very much once again, ma'am, for joining the session.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
All of you can hang up the call and can join the session.
Thank you so much. Thank you for a wonderful opportunity. Thank you.